Thank you for joining me on the Aletheia Capsule once again. Let's start with Matthew chapter 9 verse 14. Then the disciples of John came to him saying, "Why do we and the Pharisees fast often, but your disciples do not fast?" Matthew 11:2-6. And when John had heard in prison about the works of Christ, he sent two of his disciples and said to him, "Are you the one coming, or do we look for another?" Jesus answered and said to them, "Go and tell John the things which you hear and see. The blind see and the lame walk. The lepers are cleansed and the deaf hear. The dead are raised up and the poor have the gospel preached to them. And blessed is he who is not offended because of me." John the Baptist was confused about Christ because he had heard that Christ was doing certain things that went against the Torah and the law. Remember that John had been the one to receive the revelation about preparing the way for Jesus and the kingdom of God. He had definitely heard from God. In fact, his whole life was driven by the conviction that the kingdom of heaven was at hand. He was preparing the way for the Lord. He understood, or at least he thought he understood, that he was a predecessor to the Son of God who would save us and establish the kingdom. But when he heard that Christ was acting contrary to what he had always known, he questioned whether he had heard rightly from God. How many times have we believed that we have heard from God, and yet when certain occurrences don't quite match what we had in mind, we shrink back? The thing is that when God speaks, we don't always know how he is going to achieve his plans. Our minds can try and second guess God, but we may receive a shocker when his route seems strange or even uncomfortable. The bottom line is, trust God always, trust his ways, make room for him, be open to him, and be obedient. If you do these things, you will land safely.